The movie begins in Detroit, where Axel Foley drives around looking for troublemakers who either know him or don't take him seriously. He then heads to a hockey match to meet his colleague, Mike Woody, because he's aware that a gang of robbers is targeting the Detroit Red Wings. Axel discovers the criminals in the locker room trying to escape with stolen goods. He goes in, disarms one of the thieves, and then chases after the rest. With a hesitant Woody following him, Axel commandeers a snowplow and pursues the thieves through the streets, causing a lot of destruction in the process. After finally catching the gang leader in an alley and arresting him, which leaves Woody shaken, Axel is reprimanded by his old friend, Deputy Chief Jeffrey Friedman. Jeffrey tells Axel about his retirement and suggests he should reach out to his daughter, whom he hasn't spoken to in a while. Meanwhile, in Beverly Hills, Axel's daughter, a lawyer named Jane Saunders, meets with a potential client, Sam Enriquez. He's accused of murdering an undercover officer, Lieutenant Copeland, but Enriquez insists he wasn't involved in the drug trade, even though he was found unconscious next to Copeland's corpse with a gun in his lap. Sam asserts that someone was pursuing them and shot Copeland first. He claims that he attempted to steer toward the shooters but lost control of the car, crashing into a pole before passing out. Jane asks to present evidence suggesting that Copeland might have had connections with criminals during Enriquez's court proceedings. Later, while in a parking garage, she is confronted by masked criminals who demand that she drop the Enriquez case. They attach the front of her car to a truck and push it over the edge, leaving Jane hanging and frightened. Once she is rescued, Jane is approached by Billy Rosewood, who has become a private investigator since leaving the police force. He advises her to withdraw from the case for her own safety. Billy then contacts Axel to inform him that his daughter needs assistance, whether she acknowledges it or not. After the call, Billy is seen at an impound lot trying to observe a drop when the criminals catch on and take him into custody. Concerned when he stops hearing from Billy, Axel makes his way back to Beverly Hills. He arrives at Billy's apartment, where he finds 3 thugs searching the place. Axel pretends to have been sent by their boss, but they discover a photo of him with Billy, prompting Axel to use a fire extinguisher to spray the goons and make his escape. He then steals a parking enforcement vehicle and is pursued through Rodeo Drive. Although he manages to evade the criminals, he crashes the car and ends up getting arrested. At the police station, Axel meets Detective Bobby Abbott and tries to contact Jane, but she keeps hanging up on him until he mentions that it's about Billy. Reluctantly, she goes to bail him out, only for Axel to learn from a somewhat awkward conversation that Jane previously dated Bobby. After that, Axel meets his old friend, Chief John Taggart, who introduces him to Captain Cade Grant, someone Taggart has been mentoring. Axel shares his concerns about Grant with Jane, pointing out that the captain's expensive attire seems out of place for his rank. Jane informs Axel that Billy was at the impound lot because Copeland's car was there. As they head to check it out, Axel explains that his absence from Jane's life was due to her mother advising him to stay away, as he had come under threat from a dangerous gang. They manage to talk their way into the lot, where Axel finds Copeland's car and discovers a secret surveillance camera, though the SD card is missing. They deduce that there must be footage of Copeland's murder and that this is what Billy was trying to find. On their way out, Axel notices they're being tailed and removes a tracker from Jane's vehicle. Next, they go to a social club and cleverly gain entry to confront Grant and his entourage. Grant insists that Copeland wasn't corrupt while brushing aside the questionable tactics used by his men to obtain the SD card, which he claims will clear Copeland's name. After leaving, Axel and Jane argue again about their relationship, leading Axel to check into a pricey hotel. The following day, Axel shows up at Jane's workplace, despite having made her believe he was leaving, armed with an address Billy had given him. He mentions that Grant and his crew had been spotted at that location, and Axel offers to keep helping and protecting Jane. While out on the streets, the pair is surprised by gunmen from a cartel. Fortunately, Bobby shows up just in time to help take them down since he has involved himself in the case. Afterward, they return to the police station, where Axel raises suspicions about Taggart's possible connections to illegal activities based on what they have discovered about Grant and his crew. Taggart is insulted and defends himself and Grant. furiously demanding that Axel leave and putting Bobby on suspension. Now teamed up, Axel and Bobby meet Jane at her law firm to investigate further. They learn that the address written by Billy leads to a house where Grant and his team have been laundering money for the cartels. To help them gain access, Axel calls on another old acquaintance, Serge. He takes the trio to a nearby mansion that is hosting an open house. While Jane and Bobby converse with the real estate agent, Ashley, Axel attempts to sneak toward the adjacent property. There, he discovers more incriminating evidence against Grant. However, Grant's men catch wind of Axel's presence and inform him, leading Grant to promise that he will handle Axel himself. Following another disagreement with Jane, Axel separates from Bobby to speak with Enriquez's uncle, Chelino. They head to his club and sit down with him after offering to help get his nephew released from jail. Chelino informs them that Grant is involved with the cartels and reveals that Copeland was killed for attempting to go legit. He also mentions a major shipment set to arrive at the port that night. As they exit, Grant and his men capture Axel and Bobby, framing them for drug possession. After a botched interrogation, Axel manages to free himself from his cuffs and cleverly tricks Grant into letting him escape. He helps Bobby get out as well, and they make their way to the roof, where Axel insists that Bobby fly the helicopter, having learned earlier that he's a pilot. Although Bobby expresses reluctance due to a past incident, Axel pushes him into the cockpit. With Grant and his men in pursuit, Bobby pilots the helicopter, flying perilously low over the streets. They manage to return to the police station, but Grant intercepts them and shoots at the helicopter's rotor, causing them to crash land on a golf course. They steal a golf cart and set off again. Meanwhile, Taggart contacts Jane after seeing Grant shoot at Axel and Bobby, leading him to realize that there is corruption within his own department. Axel and Bobby then head to the port, where they discover that Billy is being held captive. When Billy spots Axel and Bobby, he distracts his captors, allowing them to enter and take them down. They steal a truck, and Billy mentions that the SD card is hidden inside a knife at his apartment. When Axel attempts to call Jane, Grant picks up, revealing that he has captured her and demands that they bring the SD card to a specific location. Axel reaches out to Jeffrey, who assists in tracking Jane's phone to a mansion. He tries to signal other officers for help, but this results in a chaotic chase where several police cars collide. Axel drives the truck straight into the mansion, triggering a shootout with Grant's men. Axel, Bobby, and Billy manage to take out most of the assailants before heading to the room where Jane is held. Axel charges in just as Grant is about to shoot Jane, but ends up taking a bullet in the chest himself. Before Grant can finish the job, Bobby quickly puts him down with a shot to the head. Jane immediately rushes to her father's side. Outside, Billy reunites with Taggart while Axel is transported to the hospital. Later, Jane visits Axel but finds his hospital room empty. She suspects he might be at a nearby diner. Jane informs Axel that the SD card has been retrieved and all charges against Enriquez have been dropped. They reconcile, and Axel begins to think about staying in Beverly Hills. A few nights later, Billy and Taggart are on a stakeout, with Axel in the back seat. After some teasing, Axel manages to persuade them to join him for dinner. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Take care.